Hi, I'm Betsy, and this is CAM Matters. Welcome to our show today on enforcement and more. We started in a previous show with some general things about enforcement, the who and the why, but today we're going to talk a little bit more about specifics. Come join us.
Welcome to CAM Matters, condos, co-ops, HOAs, and beyond. Betsy Barbeau is an informational leader in Florida on community association living, rights, and obligations. She is an expert on the rights and obligations of owners as well as the association. If you live or are planning to live in the state of Florida, there's a good chance you'll be part of a community association. And by the end of this show, you'll know a little bit more about community associations and why they matter.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Lynn, and this is Betsy Barbeau. We are talking about CAM Matters, and today specifically about enforcement. Now, we talked about the who, the why, and the what, but we didn't get into the juicy details.
Oh, and I know what you're going to do.
Let's do kind of devil's advocate here, because I'm going to take the side of the homeowners, and then you're going to give the other side, which most people never hear.
No one has ever heard the other side on news.
No, definitely not.
They always hear your side, but they don't ever hear my side.
For example, I move into a community, and these mean boards, they don't let, prisoners of war fly the POW flag,
Yeah.
So again, we're
but
getting
nobody
to these,
tells the other side
what's
of the
the other
story.
side? All right.
No, let's tell the other side of the story.
Okay.
Now, and I'm going to try to say this and not cry, but I'm going to cry.
Oh.
But I'm the mother of a United States Marine.
Oh.
And
so this is
thank
personal.
You, Adam Howard,
Yes.
First Sergeant Adam Howard, for service. But I'm saying that to say I am for the military.
Yeah.
And I am for the flag. But,
Right.
but you signed a contract that said you could put things outside your home or outside your front door, or that you could not.
Right.
It's a contract. It's not personal.
Right.
A lot of documents say that you cannot hang any flags, whether it's in a condo or in a co-op or an HOA. But the statutes supersede your documents. So in Florida, and I don't know about all those other states, but in Florida...
There are other states besides Florida?
in other states besides Florida, I don't know about them, but Florida allows exemptions from enforcement.
Okay, what's that mean in regular terms?
See if your mind will wrap around that.
It didn't.
In other words, your documents might say you're supposed to enforce something like you can't have any yard art.
Okay.
But the statutes supersede and say certain kinds of things are exempt from enforcement, even though your documents say the board has to do it.
Is that the case with flags?
That is the case with flags, and that's where I'm going.
Okay.
In a condominium, you can fly an American flag, and on 5 days of the year, the military holidays of the year, you can fly a second flag representing the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard.
Okay.
It has to be a portable, removable flag, so you can't bolt it in a condominium to the outside of the building because in a condominium, owners don't own the outside of the building.
Right.
And the thought there is you can't bolt something to the outside of something that does not belong to you.
Okay.
But they can have a stand or something that's removable and portable for the flag. One flag, United States flag.
Okay.
And 5 days of the year, one of the armed forces.
So no
flags.
Confederate,
no Confederate,
no football
flags, none of those, nothing else. You can fly. In a homeowners association, you can fly 2 flags from your home all the time. You can fly the American flag and the Florida flag, or the American flag and Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and they added in HOA POWMIA.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why they didn't add it in condo law.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
in HOA law, you can fly the POWMIA flag. Also in a homeowners association, because a homeowner owns the dirt that they live on, you can erect a freestanding flagpole not more than 20 feet high, so long as it doesn't block any sight lines or intersections or anything like that. And the statute goes on to say you can fly 2 flags from that flagpole.
No kidding.
Yeah. And again, you can fly the United States flag and the Florida flag, or Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, POW, MIA flag.
Okay, so this is kind of a pole that
It's
we're
a pole,
talking about.
20-foot pole.
So let me ask you this. You know how when you go to a store and you've got the flags, they're, the holiday flags.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does that come under the umbrella of a flag, or is that more art?
That you would like stick in a flower
No,
pot?
like it would go in your flagpole. Like, it could be a football team, or it could be maybe Florida.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
no college, no. The only flags that can be flown from the flagpole.
okay, right. That's a flagpole.
That's a
Opposed to almost art on your house.
No,
Okay.
no other flags.
Huh.
No other flags, period.
Okay.
It's either whether it's a condominium or a co-op, or condominium or HOA, it's the United States flag, Florida flag, military flag.
I gotta go take our flag down because I didn't know this.
No, we can't have like a flamingo or something
No
out
kidding.
there.
Okay.
No,
All right.
no decorative flags, no college flags, no other special group kinds of flags. Wow. Only American flag and Florida flag or the military ones.
Okay. This is really good to know.
And that is
Wow.
that is not the board disrespecting veterans.
Right.
It's not the board disrespecting those who've served our country. They're simply enforcing the regulations of the statutes
Okay.
and the documents.
So you see a lot of other flags, like Florida State University, and you see a lot of them, and I just thought that was okay.
No.
Wow. Okay.
No.
All right.
And the statute for condominiums goes on to allow the attachment of a religious symbol. And the original request was from our Jewish friends in South Florida.
This is interesting because you've told me about this before. Let's come back. We're going to talk
Okay.
about the
All right.
religious symbols right after this.
Are you ready for a new career? Do you have skills or interest in management, real estate, construction, maintenance, accounting, strategic planning, project management, budgets, human resource management, lawn and landscaping, pool services, or any other expertise needed to operate a community association? If you do, community association management could be for you. For more information, feel free to email Betsy at betsy@floridacamschools.com or visit the Florida Cam Schools website at www.floridacamschools.com. Florida Community Association Management continues to grow. Career opportunities abound.
Hi, welcome back to Cam Matters. I'm Suzanne with Betsy, and I'm still reeling from the whole flag thing. I mean,
She's going to get a violation
oh my
letter.
gosh, I know. Like football teams, that's seriously not okay. Okay, so we're moving from flag violations and rules into religious symbols, because how many times do you see, Statue of Mary, or what is the problem with that, and how did it start?
Okay, again, and I'm having to talk kind of out of two sides of my mouth,
Okay.
condo and homeowner
Sure,
association.
right.
We don't have any specific law for for the flags and religious symbols for cooperatives.
Okay.
So I'm talking condos and
Okay.
HOAs.
Okay.
In condominiums, I think we sort of started on that just a minute ago.
Yeah.
But in condominiums, you don't own the outside. So the outside of the front door is not yours, but the inside of the front door is yours.
Okay.
And there are exceptions to everything I say.
So your living space.
Your living
Right.
space is yours.
Right.
The Jewish tradition is to attach a mezuzah. I should have brought one to the door frame, and some of them are this big, some of them are huge,
Okay.
but it fits on the molding on the outside of your door. It has a piece of scripture rolled up inside, and it acts as a blessing to the family and a reminder of their heritage as they come and go.
And they touch it. And
They
get
touch
the
it,
blessing, right? Mhm.
And so they come and go. So that was the request for the legislation. And the legislators, wisely didn't limit it to the mezuzah,
Right.
but said that anything that is 3 by 6 by 1.5 inches, any religious object, can be attached to the mantle or the frame of your door.
It can be.
It can be.
Okay.
In a homeowners association, you do own the outside of your house with restrictions on certain things like flags
Right.
that can be flown from it. Yeah, you're going to get in so much trouble.
I can see a
are.
letter coming already.
And the other thing that a lot of homeowner association documents say is that you cannot have any yard art.
Okay. Because
And-
art is very subjective.
Yeah, well, anything then in the yard.
Right.
So no fountains, no signs,
Okay.
no this house protected by an attack cat.
Right.
You know,
They're
none of
so
those kinds
cute,
of
though.
signs. And fountains or the gazing ball or the Mother Mary, those kinds of things cannot be in your yard.
The gazing ball? Seriously?
Seriously, those ball things.
Wow.
Those cannot be in your yard. Those are considered yard art.
Okay.
The only thing that the homeowner association law exempts and that says you can have is a ramp that an
Okay.
owner who has a medical necessity can construct a ramp so long as it's aesthetically pleasing, as small as it can be
Right.
to meet the needs. The person with a disability has to complete an application and approval by the board and submit a physician's affidavit
Okay.
to be able to construct the ramp. And the other thing that they are allowed to have is like the ADT sign outside the front door.
You are allowed that.
You are allowed to have that. That is a sign, but that is exempt from enforcement.
Okay.
So you may have the sign so long as it's not more than 10 feet away from your door.
Interesting.
And again, this points back to uniformity, consistency, everything looking clean and pristine and nice, and not having all sorts of mismatched flags and all these things in the yard. You may not be able to have your trash can kept outside your garage if you have a front-facing garage.
Right.
You may have to keep your garage door closed when you're home. Just things
Right.
that keep the neighborhood
Keep it
looking nice.
So I'm going to throw some things out to you. How about like a swing, like the double swing or a,
You'll have, in a homeowners association, you would have to check with your documents to see about
Really?
that. You may be allowed to have that out of sight, maybe in the back,
Oh, okay.
but it might not be allowed in the front.
A bird bath, a bird feeder.
I'm going to say no on that.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe in the back
Okay.
that can't be seen.
Huh.
But there would be things that we don't want to see it from the street.
Right.
We want the lawns to look nice and smooth and nice.
So, I
Clean.
mean, it's really not personal. And
It's not personal.
I love the way that we started off the segment with the flags because that is, I mean, truly something so personal to you. Yet you understand.
cry when I think
know,
about it.
but yet you understand this is
Yeah,
what matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
And God bless those who serve our country, but
Yeah. That's
don't
the one.
move here.
Right.
If this just doesn't suit you, then there are plenty of other places that you can live in Florida.
Sure. Betsy, this has been kind of a touchy topic. So if someone wants to reach out to you, if they've got questions, maybe they're interested in getting into management, how would they get a hold of you?
Betsy at floridacamschools.com is an easy way to get me. And you probably can just Google my name
Yes.
if you can spell it.
Right. Go ahead and spell it. We've got it on the...
BARBIEUX.
Yeah.
And I think if you just Google my name, I'll probably pop right up. But I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. So
Yeah.
there are ways to get me.
And absolutely, don't forget to subscribe and send in a question if you like to.
Oh, please do.
Maybe you'll inspire a topic for a show. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for listening to Cam Matters. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. For more information, feel free to email Betsy at betsy@floridacamschools.com or visit the Florida Cam Schools website at www.floridacamschools.com. Information provided on this show is general in nature and does not constitute legal advice. Please contact a licensed attorney for your specific situation.